101.1 FM and streaming online at kfugradio.org. Community radio for Crescent City, Del Norte County, and beyond.
KFUG Community Radio, good morning to you. It's 3 minutes past 10. Paul Kurtz with you. Time now for community service. I've got Persephone Rose here in the studio, and let's see if this worked. Do we have Mike Thornton on the phone?
I think we do.
We do.
You guys loud and clear.
All right. I've got you cranked up all the way, so
Cranked
this
full.
is loud.
For this mic check.
It is, yes. Persephone's very proud.
Is this better?
Yes, actually, that is better.
Okay, yeah. I was on speakers, so.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Persephone's we're recording this because we'll share it, of course, with your fans and our listeners. And it's called, of course, come walking back in, and Persephone says, it's called Mic Check.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
I mean, your adoring fans have been missing you. We've gotten a few calls that have asked, what happened to Mike?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah. Well, tell them to send a mic check, and we'll see what happens.
Send Mike a check.
So how the hell are you doing, Michael Thornton, down there in Sierra Vista, Arizona?
I'm doing pretty good. It's still kind of weird. I mean, I can't really. It's hard to understand my good fortune because, I'm basically living in the nicest place I've ever lived in, pretty close. And, it just all happened as a result of the goodwill of others. And, it's really quite something. Sierra Vista is a really nice community, and yesterday, I kind of went exploring a little bit and went to Bisbee, Arizona, and met with the folks at the community radio station there, and took the long sort of loop around to get there from here. And it's amazing. It's like this area is really lush and really green, and almost every night there's an entertaining monsoon thunderstorm with all kinds of lightning going on, and it's really quite interesting. And there's stuff here. It's really interesting place. So far so good.
That's what I just as to give myself perspective of where you're living now. Your town, the small little town of which I have never heard a word in southern Arizona, has more people than our entire county.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
So let's just dive into that a little bit. What's it like living in civilization in a town of 40,000 people? What sort of amenities I imagine you've all got running water and electricity, but what else?
Indoor plumbing, that, electricity. That's all pretty amazing. Yeah. But the main thing is that there's just stuff and services, right?
Yeah.
People know. Taylor's an old dog, and so, I needed to take her to the vet. There's several veterinarians here, and I called one that's 2 minutes from my house, and I'm going, oh yeah, we can get her in today, and it turned out to be great and really good people, and so there's that, and there's several different options for shopping for groceries, and I've got an appointment with a doctor coming up.
Wait. Hold on. Stop. You just called somebody and got an appointment with a doctor?
What is this, Denmark?
Yeah. It's amazing. Still, it wasn't the same day, but it was only 3 weeks out.
Yeah, right.
Medicare isn't bad.
Not bad.
There's stuff here,
okay.
And in general, most of the people seem to be pretty nice. So the cool thing, one of the cool things is that the University of Arizona has an observatory here.
Mm.
And so one night each month, they open it up to the public, and the next is on the 1st. And so I've kind of signed up for my spot for that. To go use their equipment to check out the dark skies and all of that.
So you went, was it yesterday that you met with the folks at the community radio station in Bisbee?
Yeah, KBRP, it's Bisbee Radio for the People, or Bisbee Radio Project. I'm sorry, I've got some notifications on my phone that might go up periodically. But yeah, they're at 96.1, and they also are webcasting. And it was a really interesting meeting, and they've got some good things going on, and they're really interested in developing some local news and public affairs, and that was the thing that they were most interested in talking with me about, and so I'm looking forward to doing some stuff with them.
Yeah, so you're kind of the Johnny Appleseed of community radio news now. I mean, and so I know you're still getting your feet on the ground there, but I mean, is the plan to sort of grow local news? I know that you told me that as community outreach, this station had done, they'd asked their listeners, they'd done a listener survey saying, hey, what can we do to be more responsive? And the overwhelming reply was local news, of which they don't have any currently. So is that the goal, to sort of do what you did here?
I was going to make a joke that this was a station that had no news at all,
it's
and one
no news at all.
Mic is going to...
Yep.
You really are the Johnny Appleseed of radio.
Yeah.
Johnny Appleseed, yes. Down here, I guess it's Johnny Yucca Plant.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Jiminy Yucca Root.
Jiminy Yucca Root.
Jiminy Javelina Yucca Root. Yeah. Yeah. But no, yeah, that's basically it. And I actually had gone, looked at some of their board of directors minutes and things like that, and they had done a survey.
They're what?
But they actually have board of directors minutes and all those kinds of things.
Wow.
But it's interesting. I mean, so it's sort of like they're kind of in a middle ground between KFUG and KVMR, But yeah, and I looked, and substantially more than half of the people they surveyed said that they would like to have more local news and local voices on the air, which they don't have any of that in their regularly scheduled programming now. And
they don't have local DJs?
Oh, they have local DJs.
Okay,
but their local DJs are basically doing music programming.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and so what they need is somebody who can and wants to do news and public affairs, and so I'm certainly willing to do that, and if that can be helpful to the community, then that'll be great. I mean, they're I don't know exactly how much wattage they have. They're super low power. I mean, they're an LPFM, and because of the geography, even like trying to bump up their wattage makes it challenging to expand their terrestrial listening footprint.
Yeah.
I mean, they could move the tower, but that's a tremendous amount of work and expand. So they're also trying to build their online presence, and I guess that they're hoping that news and public affairs will help with that as well.
Right. Well, yeah, it seems like if you get up on top of, and yeah, it takes an act of Congress to move your transmitter, and then you have to physically move it and do all of these. It's taken us the better part of a year to make the plans to commence to maybe begin to plan to move our transmitter all of 15 yards.
We got the hard line.
Right. Yeah. And they would have to try to get up on, because they're in a valley surrounded by mountains.
Hey, I've got a microwave STL receiver, transmitter and receiver just sitting around doing nothing. So if they want to, if they need STL stuff, they can talk to us.
Yeah, no, and actually that came up in the conversation because we were talking about, where would they move it, and issues around line of sight and things like that. So yeah. So yeah, those things came up, and I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, Bisbee is like an old Arizona town. I mean, it's interesting because it's very, very reminiscent of Nevada City, California, where I lived for a long time. Back in like the 70s and 80s, a bunch of hippies kind of moved in and sort of, I don't mean like taking over the town. It wasn't like, Bhagwan Sri Rajneesh or anything. But, I mean, like, a lot of these old mining towns, basically were dying off. And so Bisbee is in many ways kind of like it's a lot of arts going on there, a lot of culture, a lot of, all reminiscent from sort of like, a hippie invasion of an old mining town.
And
back in the 70s and 80s. Yeah.
I'm looking at pictures of Bisbee right now online, and that looks like an old mining town. That's like if Tonopah had lived on, had survived, right? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, and here it is on Google. Is Bisbee a hippie town?
Beautiful
As
Bisbee.
near as I can tell, Bisbee is a hippie
It is,
town.
according to whoever they asked, it is the old mining town is the best hippie town in Arizona.
It's off the
Right,
beaten
yeah.
path.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like a lot of
that's
these
really
hippie
cool looking.
towns in, these various communities, is that there's like a core of hippiness, but then there's also like a large, very conservative demographic as well. And I think that's the same with Bisbee.
You're still
a
a small town in the West. Yeah, that's not
small
going to be.
town in the West.
That is actually a picturesque looking town. Just the shots I'm seeing here of the old brick buildings and the sagey hills and things around. That's really cool.
There's some where they like
yeah.
up the saturation and it's like all bright and postcardy. But then I also love these ones where it's just like this big crater and just grand mountains and
Well,
stuff.
that's
the old
the
mine,
Copper,
right?
That's
Yeah.
the Copper Queen mine. It's
Right.
the big crater that you're looking at. And it's actually kind of impressive when you're there. I mean, it's very multicolored, and I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, this very, in its own way, very picturesque and very beautiful
Pile of
remnant
trash.
like total environmental destruction.
Right. A particularly appealing pile of trash. That's where we
Beautiful
live.
memory of stripping the land of its resources.
Right, yes. Well, apparently, at least my understanding, and I have to learn more about it, is like a gigantic global mining company, Freeport McMoran, has a horrible record of environmental and political despotic actions around the globe.
Oh, nice.
Is somehow or another involved in perhaps wanting to reopen this mine.
Whoa.
Or some other things like that. So I have to learn more about it. They had a recent town meeting there. I'm assuming, and my understanding from reading about it is Freeport McMoran was, talking but largely about how great their stock prices are. So I don't know what the actual proposal is. One of the things that happens in a lot of communities like this, usually it's not big companies like McMoran, it's these penny stock places out of Canada. They'll come into these towns and make all these promises about they're going to reopen these mines and it's going to be great and big jobs and lots of money. And in reality, they have no intention of reopening the mines.
Right. It's
what
basically
they're doing is pumping up their penny stock.
right. It's a form of
it's
a form of speculation in that regard.
Well, and it is, and what they're really mining is the investors, right?
Mhm.
And then what happens is they'll drag the process out for as long as they can, turn the entire community against each other, and then they'll leave and they'll say, see, it's all the environmentalists' fault.
Right.
They'll be mad at them, Yeah, but usually McMoran is a gigantic global mining concern, so there's something different going on. But I don't know enough about it yet to really know what it is.
And so that's the next thing I wanted to ask about. You're going to be building affairs and local news programming on this station and getting involved in the community. And you've been there about a month now? Where are we?
Yeah,
about a little less, maybe
4 weeks or so.
Yeah. So have you gotten your feet on the ground enough to sort of get a basic understanding of the political landscape around you?
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. I was actually talking with one of the people at the station yesterday, and, we were talking about the community. And, I said, I kind of have a feeling I know what's going on around here. I don't know the specifics. I don't know the people, but I've been in these kinds of towns before.
Right.
And he goes, yeah, that's right. It's a small town, Yeah, and they have one of the things that they have going on is something very similar, if not identical, to the whole Measure R, Measure S thing as well. Because they also have a tax that I think people are trying to repeal, and it just sounds very much like Measure R and Measure S. So that'll be another thing, obviously, that we'll be looking to do more exploration on. And then water issues are huge here, as you might imagine. And there's an effort to have regional management of water resources as compared to the state controlling everything. So there's And then, of course, I mean, I'm 20 miles from the border, and Bisbee's closer than that. So, there's the whole issue of border issues and all of that as well.
Sure. That's got to be kind of always happen down there. An endemic concern. I'm scrolling through pictures of Bisbee. That's really pretty. It looks like a old timey Western European town.
It's a great city. I'm noticing to put filters on, because look at this picture side by side. It's like the same place, but or maybe it's just different times of day.
Yeah.
Which
that's beautiful.
Really highlights the beauty.
That's really, really cool.
Well, I think at one point Bisbee was sort of like, the big town in that area.
Right.
In
right.
this area. Yeah.
They're
I mean, like, you would go to you'd go from Tombstone to Bisbee to get the train,
Right. Exactly. The to Yuma. The 310 or whatever.
Right.
It was. Yeah, right.
The 310
where the Pony Express is stationed.
Exactly.
What's that?
Bisbee, where the Pony Express is stationed.
well, and Sierra Vista, where I live, is only been in existence since like 1956.
Really? Was it built
Yeah,
it built for the base?
It was built for Fort Huachuca. That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was started out as additional housing for the base.
Oh wow!
And so it's a relatively new town.
So this is like if Fort Dick became like crazy good. If it just really settled into where it was.
The bedroom community for the prison kind of thing. Yeah.
It came around to Fort, but it seems like it overpowered it, because now it's like its own thing.
Well, see, Sierra Vista is sort of like the commerce hub. Like when people from Bisbee need things and don't want to get completely soaked by the local hardware store,
right?
Or the local bad, as it was explained to me, the really really bad Safeway that's there. People come to Sierra Vista to do their major shopping, because Sierra Vista is kind of like the commercial business hub of this area.
Wow. Okay. So, how's Taylor doing?
Old, but resilient. There was a while where things were looking, pretty bleak, but she's kind of bounced back. But she seems to be starting to kind of injure herself more, but it doesn't seem to be bothering her, which is, it's like, okay, are you not feeling pain anymore? Do you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but she's incredibly resilient and, still Taylor,
Yeah.
but she's old. And,
old Miss Taylor.
And a big, upheaval like that, it's got to be a traumatic sort of thing for her and take her a while to settle into it.
Yeah, and she is. She's now, she's kind of, I think part of the other thing, of course, is they have this thing, they call it senior canine dementia or something like that, which is not uncommon. And so, there's times when, she'll start barking, particularly at the suspicious dog in the mirror,
Oh.
Yeah,
Aww.
but, right now she's laying here comfortably and, taking a chill and that's good, so the vet kind of just told me, let her eat whatever she wants and, enjoy her for now.
Right
and
on.
so that's what I'm doing.
So I've seen pictures, of course, of your place. It looks beautiful. I love the way you furnished it and the vibe it has. It's I've joked about it having this kind of mid 20th century sort of vibe to it.
I've actually not seen this. Are there pictures on?
Yeah, there are pictures on on his Facebook. Yeah, check it out.
Got to check this out.
It's pretty slick. I like it.
Yeah.
So, and is it a single wide or a double wide?
It's a single wide.
It looks really wide for a single wide. It had additions, right?
Well, yeah, it had particularly one large room off of the living room area. But it's a good size single wide. It's one of those things. Particularly after living in a van for as long as I was. The living room is 3 times bigger than my space in the van.
Oh yeah, right.
I like the Arizona studio.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the most latest picture of your Arizona studio.
Oh yeah, that's just sort of like set up here in the living room. I haven't quite figured out what to do with the Arizona room yet.
The Arizona Cocopellis, wall-to-wall Cocopellis.
Ooh, there's big tapestries.
Well, once it cools off a little bit, which will start happening, soon. I'm sure. I don't know. I'll set some sort of furniture up out there just to kind of hang out. But right now it's just a room, and that's fine.
So how about, of course, Elk Valley Road was such a part of our experience here, being on the. How does the neighborhood compare?
Great question.
Well, it's like totally different, like one thing, I'm in like a little cul-de-sac,
Uh-huh.
And well, there's, I've got neighbors, pretty close. I've got neighbors all around. But, there's no through traffic, so there's that.
Yeah.
There's nobody racing down and no Del Norte Harleys driving around or any of that. I've yet to see any like severely, mentally challenged people wandering around or any of that. And the neighbors seem nice enough, but they, pretty much stick to themselves. And I like that. I don't want a bunch of people coming over and going, oh, hi, can I bring you, a casserole?
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Cup of sugar, neighbor.
Here's a meat dish with Jell-O. It's the 50s.
Right. Yes. There's like some Jell-O mince pie.
Right.
So no, thank you. But yeah, yes, I'm on a cul-de-sac, so there's no through traffic. And, I guess at one point, this was like one of the fairly fancy communities in this area. Mm-hmm. And it's not that anymore, but it's not, it's not degraded or anything. It's just not like, the new housing and all of that like it might have been at one time.
So,
but yeah, it's a nice neighborhood.
Mexican food.
Oh, I went to the one place, and I want to say Taco
Bell.
And I almost sent you a picture of this, right? Because like I got a carne asada torta, right? And it like advertised itself as being like the loaded, carne asada torta, and like it really was as compared to Shrubbies.
Now, which we also got to bring up because Shruggies, as they've deserved the name again,
they deserve the name.
They've redeemed themselves.
We
went back.
Good.
Yeah, because
Paul has a theorem, as it were.
Well, first off, Monique went and then like took a picture.
That was a loaded dog.
Took a picture of her dog, and I'm like, well, what the hell? How'd you get that?
Oh,
and I think what it is like, because I was saying all I wanted was like two things that are on the loaded dog. And so that's what they gave me, but they didn't increase the portions. I think they only give you, like, if you only want like onions and peppers like I did, they only give you the amount of onions and peppers they would give you if they were loading everything else.
Which is apparently
on
no.
Which is, like a teaspoon, it looks like.
But then when we got like the protein, which was something you were struggling with, but I was like, we'll do chili dogs.
That's dumb.
I know it's dumb. It's American cuisine. It's it's a culture. It's not a good one.
Yeah, well. Yeah, herpes is a culture too. But yes,
that's actually one of the proteins.
Del Norte chlamydia.
So no, we just checked every box on the menu, and we actually got loaded dogs for the first time. So it was.
I'm glad to hear that.
They did redeem themselves. Yes, that's very good. Yeah. So the Mexican food, the Sonoran food, right? And that is the region. We're still Sonoran, right, over there in Seattle.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. It was really good. And I've only been out to a couple of different places. There's a really nice kind of coffee shop cafe not far from where I'm at called Urbano's.
Uh-huh.
And Zuzka and I went there a couple of times because, she was here when we were doing the deal on the house and all of that. And super good food, great coffee, super dog friendly. Really nice place, kind of, have, cafe music on, weekends and things like that.
Oh, wow.
And I brought it up to the station manager in Bisbee. She goes, oh, yes, Urbano's. It's great. Every time we're in town, we go there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, it's a really nice place. I mean, and there's like tons of other things. I mean, they got like I think they got a place called the Angry German or something. They got, which makes sense because if you're going to be a German, you got
to be pissed about it.
There's no happy German, but you get uncomfortable.
So they have like, they have like a German food restaurant, and they've got some Korean stuff going on. I mean, part of the thing is that I mean it's a pretty diverse community, and I think largely, of course, because you have all kinds of people from who knows all over the country, certainly, and probably all over the world coming in and out of the military base here.
Right.
Yeah. And
right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on. I haven't gotten out to most of it, less all of it, but at some point I'll start doing some more of that too.
Well, right on. Well, we're going to go and get into our day. I just wanted to, I was up last night, started editing the your exit interview video, which is like Sergio Leone says goodbye to Mike Thornton. It goes on for several hours and 3 cameras. And it's actually a lot of fun, and it was pretty easy. And I'm working through it. And it just made me miss you. And I'm going, we got to get him on the radio tomorrow. So
I miss y'all too. I mean, it's it's the thing for me that made leaving there hard is there's just people that I care about,
and I don't know if it's, I mean, I'm sure there are other, but it seems like every old white guy that listens to K-Fug is like, where's Mike?
And we got a call like I think it was yesterday.
I had a demographic.
You had a demographic, yeah, and they've noticed that you're not here anymore. Yeah. Oh, that's big shoes to fill. That's right. It is. So yeah. David O'Brien and Ralph Murphy and everybody's like, they're all upset. Your demo is upset that you're gone, and we're upset too.
But, we've taken the beautiful newscast that you formed, and we have transformed it. It goes daily, and we have a fleet of kids working on it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Good. It's crazy. And now just this week we rebranded it as Redwood Voice Community News. So they're taking it over.
New brand and new bumpers.
Yeah, doing the whole thing. And
that's great. Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where you really, I mean, and I know this as well as the people who are listening. When you have communities, whether it's, this community or Bisbee or Crescent City or whatever it may be, if you don't have local news, that's a gigantic hole that really, really, needs to be filled. So I think it's fantastic that young people are taking that and running with it.
Yeah, it is. And just nothing but room to expand and grow. We've and keep an eye out. We'll hip you to it, but we've got a lot of drone footage now.
Oh, cool.
I've become a drone operator.
Yes, Persephone is
cool.
Persephone is just 5 kills away from being an ace.
And not counting, what I've given myself.
Right.
I've got
4
3
kills
drone lashes.
But
because you got your own drone?
Yes. And it's,
that's cool.
Yes, and
We got new equipment.
We've been spending. And so we did a big art thing happening up on the Smith River. This
drone takes beautiful 4K footage.
Flying up the canyon on the south.
Sebastian's gimbal cams.
I want to tell you, Persephone, I came in last night to get my headphones, and to just while I was here, I want to watch some drone footage. So I just went and clicked on some things and just flying around the Smith River in the drone.
It's immersive. You got to just play with it sometime.
I want to, yeah.
We get these batteries fixed. If JD's in, I'll have to ask him about that. But
yeah.
Just...
Yeah, I think the thing is here, I mean, with all the military intelligence and border security complex.
Yeah, you've got different drones.
Let's throw a drone at them.
Yeah, because I think if you send up a drone here, some space heat laser ray would blast it out.
Just gets ballisted out of the sky.
I mean, it would just melt in like a meteor or something. Yeah, because that's the thing is it's apparently this Fort Huachuca is the one of the centers for kind of military intelligence, DARPA stuff or something, and then of course Border Patrol is really big here. But before we go, so I learned, it's Fort Huachuca, Huachuca Mountains. And then I finally learned, and some friends of mine who've been here before told me about it too. So Huachuca, and I can't remember what language it was, what tribal language, I think, because I don't think it was Spanish, means place of thunder.
Oh,
right?
wow. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is because of the geography and the topography, like whenever like these monsoon rains start coming in, I mean, just like booming thunder and lightning here. You know?
I saw your video actually that you'd posted out the window or wherever it was you got that from, just around your house.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, like sometimes it's like
right on top.
Right on top of me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Huachuca comes from Sobai Puri. I might not be saying that right.
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I've never heard of that tribe, but apparently that's the one.
Yeah. Oh, you mean who the word Huachuca?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Place of Thunder.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sobai
And then
Puri.
the other thing is that Fort Huachuca, it was the home of the Buffalo Soldiers.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so I'll probably, do some more. I mean, I know some about that, but I think there's probably a lot more to learn, and
Right.
particularly because, this was the place where many of them, I guess, were stationed. So.
Wow. That's awesome. Throw together a story for us.
Yeah. No, I went ahead and, got motivated to set up the little home studio and all of that. So, I will certainly do that. And, I mean, there's definitely, whether it's, maybe to learn more about the history of the tribal people here and, how it became the place of thunder. And I mean, we know, but, that could be interesting. And there's a lot of interesting stuff going on here. History and then also currently as well.
And I know we talked in the past, too, about maybe something just sort of comparing the two rural communities, kind of here and there, and what sorts of differences and things you see.
That would be fascinating.
Right. Mm-hmm. The library here is fantastic.
Oh, of course.
I mean, it is really, really something.
The library here yesterday had a fight involving 3 homeless people.
My God,
oh, really?
Yes.
Well, they have. I went in. I officially became Arizona man. I got all my stuff changed over and went and got a library card as well. And they did have a security guard in this one.
Oh wow!
But,
okay.
I mean, it was just like super. Super nice. I mean, all kinds of stuff. I mean, they got like 10 aisles worth of DVDs and stuff. I mean, it's just, yeah. They even loan out bicycles.
What?
Yes. Yeah, they have like several bicycles, including like an adult trike. And they, so they loan those out as well. And
wow.
And then of course I went really crazy and I got myself a used PlayStation 4.
Oh, nice.
Which I can play movies on too.
Oh wow!
But man, I'm telling you, man, I need help from like Persephone and Grant and all that, because I'm at one place on The Last of Us where I just keep getting killed over. And over.
I have to get Grant. He's an expert on that one.
Is he an expert on The Last of Us?
Yeah. Well, because like I was talking to the kid at the GameStop store, right? And I went in there and I said, look. You're going to have to deal with me like I'm an idiot because I haven't played video games.
And he's all like, "Would you like to buy some stock, sir?"
Like Doom, like when Doom first came out, right?
If yes, we'll have to ask you to leave.
Yeah, he was nice enough. It was kind of like, okay, he's geriatric guy, probably has senior canine dementia or something. But I know it's just one of those things. I mean, it's like I got an actual monitor, so like I can watch MMA on a 24-inch screen.
Oh,
it's
so
like,
you just
oh my god,
not hovering over your phone in the dark, right? Right on.
But discovering the beauty of devices that can multitask.
Yeah, that's
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, but it's interesting. I mean, I've been very fortunate, and I was fortunate because of everything that you did for me, Paul, and Persephone as well, and Lisa, which allowed me to be able to live reasonably comfortably, and then of course Zuzka coming in and going, I don't want you to be homeless in your old age. Let me fix that for you, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's been really cool, and you know, and getting involved in the community is going to be really nice, and getting involved with the people in Bisbee, I think, will be good as well.
Yeah. Right on. Well, let's do this again very, very soon. I'm down with making it like at least a weekly thing.
An ongoing series.
Yeah, we could have a segment of Mike
I'm
Check.
happy to do it. I mean,
Oh, you're trying to get me to make a new card, huh?
Yeah, we need a new card for Mike Check.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, I can do the, you know how I did It's
Mike
Coming
Check,
for the
yeah.
Brother Jonathan?
Just
Just do that with a mic in front of him.
with
just,
the Mike Check.
Yeah, no, I
That's good.
saw that. I mean, I just got it felt like Ahab or something.
Yeah,
we're pretty proud of that newscast.
very much so.
You
Very
know,
much.
I keep track. I try to keep track on what's going on there, and I saw that they finally went after the final dogs of Fort Dick.
Yes,
Yeah.
the long siege is over.
The final hounds
Right,
of
yes, yeah.
Tonight,
Dixierville.
cats can come out in Fort Dick and
Dances with
While
dogs.
mourning their 9 dead and 8 missing.
Jesus.
What's
I'm sorry?
this stat? 9 dead cats and 8 missing.
Yeah.
The stats are crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, the dogs, yeah. So the dogs of Del Norte have been rounded up. That's it.
Not those dogs of Del Norte.
That's it. They're done.
Yeah, not those dogs. Those are the dogs of
They're
Fort
actually
Dick.
they're doing something I'm gonna share later.
Oh, okay. The dogs of Del Norte. No,
You
that's where you go
think
get your
Fort
picture
Dick
taken.
will do like some sort of tourist attraction? I mean, because like Crescent City has their whole thing about like, you know, shipwrecks and detritus.
Right.
You know, like maybe Fort Dick could have like
These are the dead
something
cats
about,
of Fort
you know,
Dick.
killer
This
dogs.
is where the fourth cat was found.
Like an
Oh.
amusement ride where like killer dog, you know, like you
What's
go
it?
in, you pay money, they have you dress up in a cat suit,
Oh.
and then killer dogs jump out at you.
A doghouse of horrors.
They have
The
paintball
dog
guns
house
with
of
red
horrors.
paint.
Exactly.
It's like a true crime park.
Yeah, true crime
There's
park.
like chalk outlines of where all the cats were found.
No, exactly. That's it. You know?
Oh
God,
man.
you know, I mean, you know,
You move
like,
away-
is
you
Cindy
move away
Vosberg
and the
running
gold-
up the tourist bureau.
Say that again.
Is Cindy Vosberg still in charge?
That's what I was saying.
saying.
You move away and we're still giving it away for free here.
I know. Come on, they need to
Really?
kick down a grant.
I do like the moment we call back the think tank does like kick
Just
back into
right,
gear.
right, exactly.
Here's
yeah.
how we fix Fort Dick.
We can't help it.
This is how Fort Dick
Right,
becomes the
yeah.
Sierra Vista of Del Norte.
Yeah, because I mean, they could have like they could have like, you know, like they could have like a whole like sort of like, you know, execution thing for the dogs of Fort Dick, right?
Like a guy with like the mask over his head.
Yeah, what, like a public putting down?
You thinking like an axing or a hanging?
Yeah, or like Sin City with like Marv and the electric chair or something.
Oh god. Can't
All
give
right.
a public electric chair.
Excuse me. There it is, just like community service, right there.
The clear throat corner.
Laughing
But
too much.
I have to say, I mean, I love doing this because I am 112% convinced that something like this would never fly in Bisbee
Really?
at their radio station.
Is it not that kind of
It's a
radio
little bit
station,
more
or not that kind of?
buttoned up, you know?
Is it not that kind of radio station, or not that kind
It's
of?
not that- yeah, I think it's not that kind of radio station.
Oh,
You know,
Damn.
K-Fun, unique.
that is exactly right.
They hear this recording and they like reconsider your employment.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Wait
we'll
a minute.
yeah, we'll wait a couple of weeks to post this for you.
We'll
so
get back to you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, at least let me get my foot back in the door.
Yeah. Just get a fake mustache. Go back the next week.
We've invited.
I am Miguel
Nicholas-
Thornton.
Miguel,
Thornton.
I am Miguel Thortano.
Mikel Thornton.
Yeah, it's kind of like Dracula. They have to ask
You have to be invited in.
to be invited in.
All right, Mike. Thank you very much for
Thank
speaking
you,
with
Mike.
us. And
No, thank you. I really appreciate it. It's great to talk with both of you,
Oh.
and great to be back on the air there.
yeah,
It's great
no.
to laugh this hard again.
Yeah, I know. It feels like community service again. I appreciate that. So yeah, we'll talk more about doing this on the regular because I think we need to do this more.
Yeah, no, it'd be
therapeutic.
fun. I would love to do it.
My skin
Okay.
is clear.
All right, Mike Thornton from I was going to say from Parts Unknown, but from Sierra
Mike
Vista,
Check.
Arizona. Mike Check. There it is. Your
I think
weekly
that's going to be my DJ name here. I think
Mike Check.
Check.
Be sure to write my name right on Mike Check.
Mike Check.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Mike, and I'll spell it like Czech Republic.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
CZE. All right, Matt, we'll give our best to
Taylor.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Something caught my eye. Something shiny caught my eye, and I got distracted.
Right,
Give our best. Give our best to Taylor, and have yourself a great day. And let's talk again very, very soon.
Absolutely.
Mike Thornton.
All right.
Mike Thornton.
Take
Thank
care.
you, man.
The coast calls. Rocky sea stacks. A sandy beach that stretches for miles. The deep water harbors. 2 lighthouses in view. The Crescent City Triathlon calls for a new champion. Its arena hungers for new challengers. Its soul thirsty for new blood.
Sorry, I had something in my throat there. Mark your calendars, August 21st, and get ready to rumble in the Crescent City Sprint Pull Bike Adult Triathlon, Adult Duathlon, and Kids Pool Triathlon. For the past 35 years, the Crescent City Sprint Triathlon has taken its course through a few laps in the Fred and Dirt Municipal Pool and on a run and bike ride through the routes of our scenic town of Redwoods by the Sea. Over the years, an adult duathlon and a kids triathlon has been added to diversify the challenges. And although it's a comfortable family event, competitive spirits are known to participate and are welcomed. For more information on divisions, the duathlon, the triathlon, the kids tournament, age groups, and much, much more, visit CrescentCityTriathlon.com. To officially register for the event, which you must do in order to participate, visit CrescentCityTriathlon.com and click on the registration section at the top to go from there. Please register by August 19th, just 3 days before the event, to ensure you'll be included in the wave of future triathlete champions. Now move that athlon and get registered.